and welcome to my wig styling tutorial for Alhaitham's wig. First thing I do with any wig is brush it out to make sure it's all even. Then to help get a better understanding of the wig I'm doing, I'll get a picture of the character, this is from the game, and I'll draw out the templates for each spike. As you can see, I've coloured in the bottom, that's because I plan to leave it natural. Now referring back heavily to the picture I just drew, I section each spike out into different strands of hair. Next comes the long and exhausting task of crimping the hair. Now you can choose to crimp it or you can choose not to. There are pros to either, which I've listed on this video. I do crimp multiple times and I'll show you the difference of that later on. If you do choose to crimp, I find the best way is to get small multiple segments and crimp instead of one big large segment. Otherwise you won't be able to crimp throughout the wig and it won't give the desired effect. Once I've done each strand, I'll give it a brush and then tie it back up again so I can move on to the next strand of hair. Here's just a fast forward of me crimping the hair. I would recommend, as I did burn one of my hands, to wear heat-proof gloves, which I now have thanks to this experience. And remember to take regular breaks as it can be quite strenuous on your hand. I've said I do multiple crimps. Here you can see the difference of me just crimping once. The lines are quite visible, but then I go over and crimp again, usually a bit faster and then faster again. And that just helps iron out them crimp marks just a little bit, but we'll go into how we can iron them out a bit more later. Here you can see the difference. Another fast forward of me crimping the wig multiple and multiple times. I will say this is quite a long process, so watch some TV in the background. So at this point I've done half the wig, so you can see the non-crimp side versus the crimp side. And then if you're doing a wig that has any strands or spikes that are really sticky up, I find the best thing to do is first brush it out and then use a steamer, which will help mold the fibre, the hair fibre, into the shape you're holding it in, and it will more naturally come up. And to help strengthen it even further, just the base of it you can back comb, but I know a lot of people don't like doing this to the wigs as it could ruin them, but I only do it a tiny bit. See, it stands up. Then we're back to the crimping again. I do hold it up so it kind of helps hold that style just for that little bit longer. You'll notice I've gone over this strand a lot more than others. That's because it's quite a visible bit and I do need it to stand up on end, just the first bit. So hence you can see it going over and over, and I will go over some more after the video. If it's meant to be quite a straight and clean wig and not a messy wig, I would recommend just keep brushing between crimps, especially as you haven't sprayed anything on this as of yet. And then we'll speed this thing up because it's a very repetitive process and you don't want to see me do this all day long. You can see the side angle and you can see how I've really tried to focus on that first bend, crimping the rest of it. So one of the downsides to crimping is that you can see the crimp marks, and I'm going to go into how we can try and reduce them now. So I only do this to the visible layers and on this wig just the top. But I get the top bit of each strand, a very, very thin layer, and then what I go to do is I straighten it to try and help just iron out those crimp marks, but only straighten it once and don't overdo it because this will reduce the effects of crimping that I'm aiming to get. If possible, I'd use a lower heat. Here you can see me repeating the process. You might notice I go over just the ends with a straightener a little bit because they do look a bit over crimped, I find. A hairbrush's comb at this point would be very beneficial, but I did not have one in my possession. Now we get to the most scary part that cannot be undone, and that's the trimming. I'd be very careful about trimming where possible. I've done this multiple times, but I just trim where I want the spike to be, and then I try to thin it out. You can get hairdresser scissors for this as well, which would be beneficial. Now for spraying, shaping it and styling it. So for bits that stick up, I again use a steamer just to help give them base that little bit of extra volume, and then I will shape it into the shape I want. Spray it 1 or 2 times with hair sprayer, got to be, and then I spray it from a distance, not too close up, and then hold it in the shape I want it, as you can see here, and dry. Doing an extra little bit just on the tip just to help hold that and keep that structure in. Spray and dry, over and over again. As mentioned, you can see here I really do focus on those tips. So here you can see me just going over and over spikes, making sure I brush them out before I decide to style them, and hair drying it into the shape I want. I do look back at the pictures I drew originally and where I want the spikes to be. The bottom layer by the neck, I've said before, but I'm not touching that. The reason for that is my child wig has really suffered from over and over styling just on the bottom, and that's where it looks fake. So I want to leave that as natural as possible. You may have noticed already it's a bit different from the picture I originally drew. That's because of the amount of hair and the type of styling I wanted. I wanted a bit more detail, so I have got 2 layers of spike, whereas actually on Alhaithamwig there is 1. This is a personal choice I've decided to do, as I believe it might look a bit better, and I love on photos how you can see the shadow and that just comes with more and more spikes. You might notice that some of the ends might have been bent, especially from how you tie it. The way to get the hair looking a bit more straight and natural is to steam it again and steam it into shape. Now, before you spray it, this is the point where you want to decide where you want each hair to go. So you can see here, I was kind of deciding, do I put this bit of hair with this spike or do I put it with that spike? This is a perfect chance to do that and just steam it a bit to kind of help it go in that position, because it's okay at this point to change your mind and change how many spikes you want. And we'll pop up that reference image again, because it's always good to go back to your reference image. You may have a kind of style in your head you want that might differ slightly, or if there's a piece of artwork you really like and you want the wig to look like that, then draw your reference image off that. And you'll find the more and more wigs you do, you kind of get a style for how you go for, how many spikes, what kind of spikes you like, and then you'll be able to work less and less off the reference image. It just depends what kind of style you're going for. And after you wear it a few times, you might find you have to repeat this part of the process again, just spraying and hair drying the hair. And as mentioned before, I've tried to spray a bit further away instead of close up, because if you do it close up, it can make it quite tacky and sticky and you can see the spray particles. So unless I'm doing just the tips, I try to hold it back a bit. You will find during this process your hands will get very sticky and your phone case will probably be covered in hair glue. Don't worry, it will come off. It's just an annoying part of the wig gluing process. You'll see here that I've sprayed the spike mostly from the top, but I would also recommend spraying just underneath. I don't think you can see my spray can in this video, but I do spray it and then just dry it from underneath. It will help strengthen the spike and be able to wind protect it a bit more. Then we go to do one of the spikes that slightly stick out. I know it does curl around the front. I think I did change this in the end because I thought it would look better curling outwards instead of inwards, but you'll see the final result for that. And if I'd like to just give you a brief reminder, please like and subscribe. And if you want to see pictures of me wearing the Alhaitham wig and cosplay, please go to my Instagram and TikTok, as I'll be posting the images on there. Again, you can see I've really tried to make that bit just stand up, and you can see the effect here of how much it stands up. Then this spike stands out a little bit, so instead of brushing it backwards like the rest of them may do, I tried to make it stick out just a little bit. And here I keep styling and restyling and just strengthening that bit that stands up. Going over that top spike again, you'll find you'll do it and at one point you might really like it, but you want to improve it later. That's absolutely fine. Wig styling is a learning process like anything in cosplay. Don't be afraid to fail the first time. So here we have the near finished result, although I did want to tidy it up a bit after this, so I'll tell you what I do next, but there we go. I then went round and trimmed all the little extra fluff, loose bits that I could find. I will note that you may need to trim your fringe, as when you put it on it comes a lot further down in your face, which was the case with my Rukadavata wig, but that's okay. Try it on and then you can cut it. You can see how long you want it, because if you cut a wig too short, which I did with the front of my Deluxe wig, you can't put it back again, unfortunately. So always cut off less than you might need, and you can always go back and cut more, so don't be afraid. But here I was just trimming off those loose stragglers to try and improve that definition and make it look as smooth as possible for my dear Alhaitham. Like anything, you'll see bits after you've done that you want to improve, and you can always come back and restyle the wig overall. I've still got the tag on it. I will link where I got this wig in the description, but if this tutorial has helped you, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe for possibly more tutorials like this in the future. Thanks for watching. I do this completely for free in my spare time, and so I appreciate all your support around cosplaying.